What will the Trump-Vance agenda look like? And have they ever golfed together? This weekend, we flew to Grand Rapids, Michigan to ask them. Here's part 2 of our exclusive interview. Have you guys spent time playing golf together?
A couple times. I think the president, I hit the ball pretty well, but I have a pretty high handicap. And when the president asked me how high my handicap was, he said, well, you got a beautiful swing, so you must have a terrible short game, which is true. It is accurate.
You might get to work on that. I know you like to play.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know if I'm good enough to play that much with you. About once a year is probably all I can take.
You guys will be pretty busy.
He plays fast. He's like what are you, a scratch golfer?
Yeah, well, right in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I won a lot of club championships.
Can Kai beat you at golf?
Well, I'll tell you what, within a short period of time, she'll be able to.
Not now.
I don't want to say. You have
a rivalry with her.
Oh, she's going to be good. She's going to be really good. I mean, she's really a top young player for her age. She's incredible, I would say.
You probably won't have that much time for golf if you're as fortunate as we expect to get elected. Mexico, are strikes against the cartels still on the table?
Absolutely.
Even against our biggest trading partner?
Absolutely. Mexico's going to have to straighten it out really fast, or the answer is absolutely. They're killing 300,000 people a year with fentanyl coming in. And China, by the way, will do what they have to do. They're going to do it just like I had to deal with President Xi, but then Biden never took it over. They were going to give the death penalty to anybody sending fentanyl our way. And that was part of my negotiation. They never did it because nobody forced it on our side. Mm-hmm. You know, China has the death penalty for drug dealers, et cetera. And I said, they're drug dealers. They agreed with me. He agreed with me. Death penalty for drug dealers. Death penalty for people that send fentanyl into our country. And that would have made a big difference. But you know what happened? Nothing, because when Biden came in, nothing happened. And I don't know why he's so soft on China, but boy, is he soft on China. But China's sending almost 100% of it is from China to the Mexican border, and then it's coming in. Mexico is going to be given a very short period of time to police their border. I'm sure they're going to do not well. And then you're going to see the action start. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to have a lot of people living. They're killing 350,000, not 100,000 or 90. I'd like to say 100. It's a lot of people. That's 2 Yankee stadiums, okay? Mm-hmm. They're killing 300,000 people, maybe more than that, and destroying families. Even if there's no death, they're destroying families. The families are decimated and they're destroyed.
And Senator, your mother, victim of addiction, how'd she kick it?
She kept on getting back on the horse. I know a lot of families struggle with addiction. I think my message is there is hope on the other side of addiction. You just have to keep on at it. And she's getting close to 10 years clean and sober. But to the president's point about this, if the poison that is coming across the border now had been coming across 20 years ago, I don't think that my mom would be here. And she's a great grandma to our 3 grandkids. And it's so just good to see her happy and healthy. A lot of families. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. She was so excited to be sitting next to you, and you were very kind to her, and I appreciate that. But a lot of families don't get that chance at a second chance because of that poison that Biden's letting into the country right now. It's funny that people accuse us of being bombastic for saying the cartels, we need to go after them. What about American citizens who are losing their lives by the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands because we won't do something serious about the cartels? That's what's reckless. It's not actually doing something to stop them. I actually believe, Jesse, that the Mexican government, even though they couldn't say that, they want President Trump to be serious about the cartels because that poison is destabilizing their country too. $14 billion coming into the cartels, and that was a couple of years ago. It's probably more today. They're not going to be a real country anymore. They're going to become a narco state unless we get some control over this.
Yeah, we could be a narco state too.
We're getting close to it.
Are you prepared for the hysteria from the left, legally, bureaucratically, when you do mass deportations?
So Dwight Eisenhower, who people consider a moderate, he probably wasn't as moderate as people think, but Dwight Eisenhower did the largest deportation ever in this country. He was very big on people not coming into our countries, people breaking our sealed borders, right? And the hardest thing in a certain way is exactly what you said. We have to get some very bad people out of this country. And as soon as we grab, perhaps we take a woman with 2 children, 3 children. She shouldn't be here, but she's a nice woman. The children are beautiful. and all of a sudden it ends up being a front page story of the liberal newspapers. And you're right, it's a hard thing to do, harder than a long time ago with Dwight Eisenhower, right? A lot harder. Nobody complained. In those days, it was, we had a country that was much different. But we have no choice. We have to get the criminals out. These are murderers. These are drug dealers. These are people that will take women and put them in the trunk of a car and sell them to the highest bidder. They'll come across the border, human traffickers, which is, you think of that as an ancient thing.
Yep.
Actually, it's almost as big as the drug trade now. You wouldn't even believe this. And the reason is because of the internet. The internet has made that into a massive business. Human trafficking, it's mostly in women. And all of these things, we have no choice. We have to do it.
The media will attack us for doing what we actually promised to do, which is get a lot of the violent criminals and the people who shouldn't be here out of here. But one, that's why leadership actually matters. I think President Trump showed during his first 4 years he wasn't willing to take on the lying media when he had to, and the country was better off for it. But you just start with the worst people, right? But before you get into what you can't do, I don't understand why our entire governing class doesn't ask, well, what's the part you actually have to do? Why don't we start there and then figure it out from there, right? Walk before you can run. Pretty common sense. It's how it works in business. Certainly, I think how it should work in government.
The problem is Mexico is petrified of the cartels because they'll
Exactly
take out
right.
a president in 2 minutes. And they're petrified of the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. And I had a great relationship, as you know, with the president of Mexico. But I had to remain in Mexico. I had catch and release in Mexico. We released them in Mexico, not here. I did things that nobody believed I did. They could be done. Remember when I had remain in Mexico? In other words, nobody could come into our country. They had to remain in Mexico. You think that was easy to get? And I got it. I got it because of tariffs. I said, if you don't agree to it, I'm going to put tariffs on your cars and everything you sell us at a level of 50 to 100%. And all of a sudden they said, we would love to keep them in Mexico. It would be a great honor to keep everybody in Mexico. But we had,
right?
But we had we have great powers if we had people that knew how to use them. They don't.
That's how the bloodbath hoax started. You were talking about tariffs on cars from China through Mexico.
That's right.
Joe Biden calls for unity, lowering the temperature, and then goes out the other day and says you're a dictator, threat to democracy, find people hoax. Does that language put you in danger?
You know, it's interesting. I never took it seriously until now because people believe things when they hear it over and over. Biden gets up. He can't read 2 sentences. He can't put 2 sentences together. Trump is a threat to democracy. He doesn't even know what the hell he's saying. He couldn't even define the word democracy. And he says he's a threat. Then I started realizing a couple of weeks ago, every single time he gets up, he calls me a threat to democracy. And he's actually a threat to democracy because he's grossly incompetent. I mean, that's a big threat to democracy.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.